Hello you guys, welcome to a new reading vlog. As you can see by the title, this reading vlog will be dedicated to The Wicked King by Holly Black. I did a reading vlog, a spoilery reading vlog for The Cruel Prince. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check that out. And this is going to be a spoilery read of The Wicked King. I really loved The Cruel Prince. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Spoiler alert for that video. It was absolutely incredible. And so now I'm reading The Wicked King because Queen of Nothing is coming out next month. I am 60 pages into this. I'm on chapter 6, and gotta say I'm really disappointed that Holly Black chose to fast forward in the book. Like, I'm kind of disappointed that we've already had, like, 6 months have already gone by since The Cruel Prince, and I can't help but think that we've kind of missed out on a lot of things. So I'm really not a fan of just how this is starting out, and also the couple things that have just come to light have been really convenient. Like, for example, the whole thing with Nisea, however you pronounce her name, how she just like shot Garden after we just find out that her mother and Balkan have some kind of communication going on at the prison. And I don't know, it just seemed very convenient to me. And then the whole thing about Jude is just surprised that Nisea is supposed to, or wants to marry Carden, or her mother wants her to marry Carden. Like, that doesn't seem like a surprise to me. I mean, they obviously have history, so why wouldn't that be a thing? Like, why? I don't understand why Jude, who is this super strategic person, is surprised by that. I don't know. I'm just not really enjoying it right now. And, you know, that's kind of disappointing, but, like, it's only 60 pages, but I'm also being a little more critical just because this is such a short book. I'm hoping that I'll enjoy it more once we get more of, like, actual betrayals and actual, like, action and, like, see what Jude ends up doing. But for right now, not a huge fan of how this is starting out right now, but we shall see what happens. Hopefully it's not too loud. The roads are a little crazy right now, and the sun is a little unflattering, but I just finished listening to The Lost Sisters by Holly Black, which is like the novella from Taryn's perspective. And if you've seen my Cruel Prince vlog, which I assume if you're watching this one you have, I want to stan Taryn because I'm a controversial ass bitch. I wanted to stan Mal when I started the Grishaverse, but I have sanity and logic, so couldn't be me ever. But I was like, alright, Cruel Prince, this is my time to shine. Taryn is gonna be my bitch. And after the Cruel Prince, I didn't hate her. I didn't have strong feelings against her, basically. And I was hoping that The Lost Sisters would, like, make me feel more attached to her and, like, relate to her more. But I don't think it did. Like, and it's hard because, like, the seeds of what I need are there. Like, I like that because what I want from Taryn, Jude with, like, different ambitions, or, like, Jude with different ways about doing things, but still having that same ambition. And I was expecting that because I thought that everybody just hated Taryn because she had the same ambition as Jude, and she was just as conniving as Jude was, but because Jude's the main character, we root for Jude, right? That's what I was expecting going in. And we kind of get that. Lost Sisters, you kind of see that Taryn started off just like falling in love with Locke, which is exactly what Jude did in naive love. Okay, you can't fault Taryn for doing that because Jude did the exact same thing. Okay, you can't be a hypocrite. I find it hard to sympathize with Taryn because she chose Locke over Jude, and I don't feel like Jude ever did that. Like, every single time something happened between Jude and Taryn, like, they fought a lot, but when it came down to it, Jude protected Taryn and supported her, like the scene with the lake. That's where I'm like, I find it hard. And it's also like, men are trash. Do not give up your family, your friends, your pets, the trash. Like, you don't choose a man over those things. But then I also see where Taryn's coming from, because Jude has always been good with a sword. Her method of getting through the fairy world was via sword and via her wit and her strength. Taryn is kind of this other side of women's power, where she's using a man that is already not only just a man, but a fairy man who is in a position of power, and she's saying, you gonna marry me, and if you don't, I'm gonna get my family up in this bitch, and we're gonna tear you apart. So, like, I get it. I feel like Holly Black just didn't go far enough. She didn't take the extra step with Taryn's goals or ambitions, or just the way she went about things, to really justify, again, her actions. I don't know. And I also am aware not liking Taryn is a bit hypocritical, right? Because Jude is trying to do everything in her power to make her own place in this world, and Taryn is doing the same thing, but because we don't like how Taryn did it, we judge her for it. So it's definitely like a double-edged sword, you know? And that's why I don't really have any strong feelings towards Taryn. Like, I don't stan her and I don't hate her. I understand her motives, but I also can side-eye her a bit, where I'm like, yeah, but why did you have to do it that way? Or why did you have to do it like that? You know? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm still keeping an open mind with her. I feel like Holly Black just needs to give her more in terms of her character. Like, I want her to have more ambition. I don't want her to be more malicious, because, I mean, I do, because I just love evil ass bitches. But I don't think that's what Taryn's character is. I think the whole point of her character is that she was trying to get through this world via kindness and via submissiveness. And she's still doing that via this marriage with Locke. So if Holly Black made her malicious and just like overly cruel, it would take away from her archetype, like the point of her character. I just want her to be more conniving. Like, I just want her to use Locke, or just to get more, do things to her advantage more. I just need Holly Black to give her more attention and kind of develop her character more, because I think the dynamic between Jude and Taryn as twins, mortal twins, and each of them going about gaining power, it shows the multifaceted of how women can gain power in a man's world and just a, you know, fairy world that they are obviously at a disadvantage in. Like, kind of the direction that she went with Taryn being the more submissive, but just because she's submissive doesn't mean that she can't want things and get things. I just need more, you know? I just need more. Okay, so hopefully the sounds aren't too loud. If they are, I'll just refilm this clip, I guess. But I just got to the throne room scene, which I can't tell if they banged or not, because YA, you know, you never know because they don't say the actual things, but they definitely had a moment. I think they banged. I think they did. But guys, I'm not liking this. Like, I'm not really... I don't want to say I'm not liking it at all, because that's a little dramatic. I am liking it. I'm all paranoid. People are going to come at me. I am liking it because I like the world and I like Jude and everything. Everything is just so rushed and there isn't enough development for anything. Everything, again, just happens so quickly without much development. Like, that's all I can really say. This sex scene is just an example of that. It's like, we know that there's tension between Cardan and Jude. We haven't really got a lot of it in The Wicked King. Like, there was one, like, a couple scenes, I guess, but it's not as well flushed out as it was in The Cruel Prince. I don't know. I just feel like this book is just rushing so much and it just needs more development and more time. Even the writing, I remember loving so many lines in The Cruel Prince and like just so many like individual lines. I even commented about how I loved how they were just sprinkled throughout the book. I'm not getting any of that in The Wicked King either. So, and it doesn't seem like Jude has any grand plan. It doesn't seem like she's really strategizing much. I'm not really liking it. I'm sad. Man, fuck Ghost. What you mean you serve Prince Dane, not you? Bitch, Prince Dane is dead!
The doctor's gone!
Oh, wow. Oof, look at my hair. She wildin'. Alright, you guys. I finished The Wicked King. Let me just start off by saying I did know what happened at the very end. I was spoiled. I knew that Jude was exiled at the end. So that wasn't surprising to me. I didn't know that Jude and Cardan got married. So that was a surprise. And again, I would have liked it better if I got more development. Like, everything I liked in this book and all of the points that I liked in this book, like the, you know, the romance scene between Jude and Cardan and the wedding or the, like, marriage pact, whatever you want to call it. I can't really think of any other scenes that I really loved all that much. All of the things that I liked about it, I couldn't really savor it and enjoy it because of the lack of development in this book. I know that's all I keep saying, but it's really all I can say about this. Like, I didn't feel anything reading this. It was both really slow, but also all of the major plot points that kind of moved the story happened so quickly that even when stuff was happening, I wasn't really invested and it really didn't grip me all that well. I really just can't help but think that this is what happens when you release 2 books in a year. I feel like this was half-assed. Like, I don't know. And I'm so surprised because everybody says that this is way better than The Cruel Prince and that this is like such a great sequel, and I just don't see that at all. Like, all of the things I loved about The Cruel Prince, the tension building, just the writing in and of itself, the development of Jude's character, the constant kind of twists and turns, all of that wasn't in here. The only twist that is a great twist was the whole thing that Cardan convinced Jude to trust him, marry him, lift the curse, and then exiled her the next day. Like, I did enjoy that. And it didn't take me as by surprise as it should have if I wasn't spoiled for it. So I'm not knocking it down for that. I did enjoy the very end of this book. Even saying that, I feel like it could have been so much better if it was developed more. Like, this book should have been at least 150 pages longer. Everything that happened in this book happened way too quickly, while also not having proper build-up. I don't know if I'm making any sense, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, and I know I'm gonna get blocked and reported for this, which is fine. It's just, I was expecting to adore this because I love The Cruel Prince so much, and everybody is saying how The Wicked King was so much better. And I'm like, how? How is this better than The Cruel Prince? I really don't understand that. How? Like, why? Just because they almost banged in the throne room? Like, yeah, that was great, but also that only lasted 2 pages, and there wasn't any build-up from that. The only build-up we get from Jude and Cardan's, like, sexual hate tension is in The Cruel Prince. So it's like, I don't understand. Like, there are, like, 1 or 2 scenes in here prior to the throne room scene where Jude is talking about how hot Cardan is and whatever, but it still doesn't have as much sexual tension as it does in the last part of The Cruel Prince. So even that, I don't understand. And also, I thought we were gonna get more Jude Cardan scenes. Like, we only got one. I mean, one, like, actual intimate scene. Like, I'm so disappointed by this. Obviously, it's not enough for me to not read Queen of Nothing. And all I can say about Queen of Nothing is it could be 1 page, and as long as that 1 page includes Jude stabbing Cardan in the throat, it'll be a 5-star for me. Still really excited for Queen of Nothing. Still really excited to see how this ends. But this, to me, was not a good sequel whatsoever. And maybe it was because I had too high of expectations because everybody was saying how great this was, but I really don't understand why people say this is so great, because to me it really missed the mark. It's rushed, it's underdeveloped, it doesn't have as great quality as The Cruel Prince, it doesn't have all of the amazing elements The Cruel Prince had. This was cheap. I love that Taryn betrayed Jude again. I'm glad that she's continuing doing that. I'm glad that Taryn has her own ambitions and she's going about things in her own way. But still, even though we get that, we still don't really get any of her actual reasoning or, like, development in the way she does it, which, I mean, I get because this is told in Jude's perspective. I just wish Taryn got as much attention as Madoc did, you know? Because Madoc, we know his motivations despite being in the perspective of Jude. Like, we know kind of how his mind works. So why don't we get the same attention with Taryn when it's clear that she's just as ambitious as Madoc and Jude? I just feel like Holly Black has not given Taryn really the development that she deserves, because if you're gonna make a treacherous character, give her some depth, you know? Don't just, like, make her do things and just expect us to hate her, which apparently, I mean, if you see on book Twitter, that is clearly all it takes. But for me, I want some more spiciness. Like, I'll give me more. That's just all this book left me. I just needed more, and it never gave it to me. This vlog was disappointing. This vlog was a flop. I feel like I barely talked because this is so short, so probably a reading vlog for the Wicked King, like a dedicated reading vlog, wasn't the smartest. I probably should have combined the Cruel Prince and the Wicked King together, but you know, you live and you learn. I mean, I'm excited for Queen of Nothing. I am. I'm still very excited. I'm still going to get my hands on it as soon as possible. I still do love Jude, even though I feel like her character just was very stagnant in this one. They mentioned that when she came from the undersea that she became just like even more vicious than she was, and I don't understand that. I feel like she didn't really go through any development in this, which I mean isn't necessarily a bad thing because she goes through so much like development in the Cruel Prince, but I don't know. I was just expecting more. I didn't get what I was promised from everybody. Kind of ending this vlog on a sour note, so sorry about that. I know this is probably going to be a little disappointing for you guys as well because I know you guys were very excited for me to read The Wicked King, and so many of you guys love The Wicked King, which I'm so happy you loved it, and again, very unpopular opinion on my side, so I understand the outrage. But if you did love The Wicked King, like, please explain. Because for me, The Cruel Prince is way higher. For my rating, ooh, I feel like it's gonna be a 3.5. I really do. I was really debating giving it a 4, but I don't think it deserves a 4. Like, the only reason I would give it a 4 is for the last 2 chapters. But everything else in the book is a 3. So I feel like it's fair, like, to give the 0.5 rating just for the ending. Ooh, I'm gonna get muted by so many people on book Twitter right now, but 'tis the fact of life. That's gonna do it for this vlog. I'm sorry it was like so boring and kind of depressing because I was just kind of complaining the whole time. Yeah, it happens sometimes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog anyways. You probably didn't, but there will be more in the future. Look out for my Queen of Nothing vlog when it comes eventually. And I will see you guys later. I will talk to you later. I will be in conversation with you in the comments. And I'm gonna go cry now.